the largeness or the bigness of the project, and then the criticisms of men. All those things could not deter Nehemiah from the goal of God. And I'm telling you this afternoon that nothing should deter you from whatever goal that God has set for your life. Amen. So, in rounding up, I want to encourage every one of us today. There is a place of perseverance. The Bible says it's only those that endure to the end that will be saved. There is a place of endurance in everything that we do in life. You want to run a race? Yes, there will be a point that in your race you will be tired, but you need to endure to get the crown. Praise the Lord. And we need to get to that point. We don't need to give up. This is a small beginning. Don't worry, the whole may not be. History is being made today, whether we believe it or not. And I congratulate you, and I want you to congratulate your neighbor for being part of history. Let's congratulate ourselves, because we are making history here today. It's about things that man has never thought before. And I want to believe that someone must have conceived this same idea in time, but they never took the step. So we thank God for the life of Ify, and the only way that our life can count in our generation is when we sow our lives as a seed to make the life of other people better. Thank you very much. God bless you.
Thank you very much, sir. That was a very good one. If there is, thank you very much, sir. We are moving on. I know many of us will be like, why are we here today? Yeah, we know we are here to launch Ifybella Kidney Organization. And if you look at this, the right-hand side, we're sufferers. You can imagine what happens when you give hope to someone. You can imagine what happens when you reach out. And I believe this should be out, maybe somewhere there, where we can actually see the visions of this organization. This is a very good cause, very, very good one. One that I'm very happy to associate with. When Sister Ify told me about 2 or 3 weeks ago that I was going to be the MC, I told her I was going to Dubai. I flew in from Dubai this morning, and can see I'm still feeling sleepy. But I didn't have a choice. I just have to come. But this is not a birthday party. It's a good cause. So please, as you are here today, bless you as you have come in Jesus' name. I'm going to call on Sister Ify. I'm going to call on Sister Ify, and please, because you have kept us waiting, I want you to make it short. Thank you very much.
Yes, I can. Thank you so much. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you. Good afternoon. And you're welcome to Ifybella Kidney Organization Inauguration today. I am so sorry for the delay and for coming back late. I want to thank you all today for believing in me, for making this day a wonderful day, keeping your time, sparing out of your activities to be here to testify the goodness of God today and to share this wonderful testimony with me. The Ifybella Kidney Organization is started out of true life experience, which I went through. And I've got so many things here in my clip, but my MC has already given me time to cut it short. So I will try to be a bit brief as much as I can. With the welcome address, this story started 5 years ago. I was a normal and a healthy woman and a mother and a sister of 2. And I have a stable marriage. And I worked long time hours just like everyone in the society. But when this condition came out, it struck my life, and so many changes took place in my life. It's something that is really a tragedy that you wouldn't like to wish it even to your worst enemy. And that is why I'm here today, to encourage us. Because at every given time in our life, we face challenges. But what is important is the heart and the spirit and the mind you take, and you uphold it to tackle it. So Ifybella today, it's stemmed from a problem that I acquired when I had my first child. I had what the corporate claims say, some mothers here developed blood pressure along the line, which was settled and under medical control and management. But down the line, after a couple of years, I started having pain on my back. He picked up that my kidneys has backed out. And it's one of those things life can throw at someone. So I took a courage, but it was really hard because my days were filled with tears while I'm at work, and everything I'm doing, I still keep feeling the pain of it. And one day, this hurry started. Even while my great teams are here that looked after me, veteran, doctor, and all the rest of the team, they are a great team. And I want to thank my mother. She's awesome mom. And my friends and well-wishers. I want to thank Pastor and all the members of the Redeem, and in fact, the NHS as a whole, and the Milton King community and Igbo Union. All my friends, I want to thank you for today. You all are awesome. I want to say a big thank you. Thank you all for supporting me. So when I started, I was told that it will take a while, maybe 2 years, based on the trend of the readings, because they have to go through bloods. Betta will tell us better because she will come over here and talk to us more. So, but this is why I started this initiative. What I was expecting, even having the fact that I'm in the medical team, a trained nurse and all this, but I couldn't believe what I saw. It didn't last up to 6 months. I couldn't even walk from here to that door. You can imagine me now, I'm just jumping with my healing shoes now because of the medical transformation. So let's give a round of applause to the medics. So, and it was really a devastating event. So I battled it. I took a strong heart and courage. I said, okay, it's a challenge. I have to deal with it. So I started, they put me on dialysis because I have to do dialysis because I remember the date because a day to it, which is on the 17th of July of that year, 2012 or 13, something like that, 2012. I was to go for my post-registration in nursing graduation, and I couldn't work. So, and I wanted to go for that graduation. So I told my team here, and they did great work. So they have to put me on dialysis straight away, so that they can purify me and get me strength and energy to go for the graduation. So I was so pleased I marked it that day, so I went for it. So that was when my agony and a little bit relief started. So from there, I was on with it. Every day of my life, I was on dialysis. So, but so many people didn't know because that is why I started this. It was a challenge, but I want to encourage you today that no matter anything that you see, that comes in this life on your way, you have to take a strong heart, take a big courage to it, and believe that what comes always goes, and it will be settled by the grace of God. And you need to exercise a really strong faith, because I have that kind of belief and strong faith that there's nothing impossible with God to do. And at that point when I needed him, he really showed his face. So on that blessed day, while I was still on the dialysis, walking, doing everything like every other person, so I was at work and I was called upon. And after the series of tests and everything, it was a successful mission. So I had a successful transplantation. So today I'm happy. At least I can sleep like everyone, like a normal life, and wake up in the morning and jump to work and all sorts of life. So because of that, I took it upon myself. I said, no, I have to give back to the world. I have to give back to this society. I have to help my people. Because where I come from, we from the minority, it's quite hard because when I was going through this problem and trauma, being is not something common to us. Here in the West, somehow a bit common, but back from where we come from, when you go through such things, the thought of it all is that that's the end of it. And as what I can gather happening now is somehow how it is. So, but by the special grace of God, the fear and everything that we are having, that is why we started this initiative to get that knowledge across and the awareness across to our people that there will be a solution. But we all need to come out and work together to achieve those aims. The support is there and everything. All we need is just to go down to the people that knows it to signpost and guide us through. And also to encourage us on organ donation. And it's very, very important part of it, because that is one of the things that will make you to get normal again, back to normal life, and everything will settle back to normal. But my boss is here, Beth, and she will talk to us soon over all those things. So today I've got about the organization. I want to update you all here where we are and at the moment what we have done so far. We have started with the clips I have here. Bro Steve, can you help me? Because I don't know what you put on. Thank you. Yeah, so now we are at the registration process. So we've registered with the company house, and we've started our registration with the Charity Commission, which is in progress, and also with Milton King Council, which is in progress as well, with the Milton King Charity Community Group. We are also registered with South Central Ambulance NHS Trust, because we have an aim to give back to the society. All those things that I was opportune to get back then, for someone to help me, that is what I want to give back. And I will need your help, all of us. I will need your support. Because for someone out there, it's just like when you're called out for such an event, I love the first thing our pastor told us here today. You will face so many challenges. So many people will discourage you. So many people will say, oh, why do you want to do that or that? But we forget something. Things happen. I did not plan for it. I didn't even dream of it. It happened. And it's something that can happen to anyone, no matter your age, child, old. I have so many people now that are really asking us for help. Some patients that needs our support. And things like this is where we can function really effectively to get all that we expect. We shouldn't all that all the time expect it to be all that good. We should also be supportive to help people that are in need. So now with the South Central Ambulance, we need volunteer drivers. Ifybella, today I'm going to present to you a car that I'm going to launch for this organization, which we'll be using for patient transport to take them to hospital appointment throughout that road. And some of the activities we've done so far will be going around to hospitals, appreciating people that are working for God, our doctors and nurses and the fellow patients. And here I have on the clip when I went through the Christmas time to send our Christmas presents to our wonderful, great nurses and doctors and the patients in Oxford to thank God with us. And in the clip here, I have, that's the Milton King here, and this is Ifybella Kidney Organization Transport. Did I pause there? Oh, I'm sorry, I'm so sorry. I kept clicking fast. Transport. Why we have this is that in ambulance team, we have really people in need of transportation. And in our local community today, there is so much need of emergency services to take people to hospital appointments and events. And at the same time, there are people that will need treatments, that will need to go to hospital, but they cannot go alone. People like us are the people that are well trained, CRB checked and everything, that will be able to help those people and put a smile in their face. That is why you see in our motto right up here, you see that Ifybella, its own mission and aim is putting smiles, reaching out and giving hope to the sufferers and the general public. Show me where you do it. Right here, Our people used to say charity begins at home. So while all these things are going on in my mind and here where I live, I remember and I came to think about my home where I come from and the African community and so many minorities as well. So as a charity, our aim is to reach out really anywhere our legs can get us, down to the primaries all over the world. We want to create that awareness and we want to help people. So here you can see with me a hemodialysis clinic that I sent one of my representatives to go and check and give them a Christmas present and snacks and biscuits. And so when the gentleman got there, he now called me back and said, look, I'm sorry, I have a good news and a sad news for you. They are so happy with what you've sent, but they are really desperate for help. They're saying that they need, even if it's injection, water, syringes, to help with their dialysis and treatment, and even for donors, because they will be free. They want to be free like me. Some of the patients, they are crying. They asked me to send their message to say, please, that we all should come to their rescue as well. So because they are all counting on us and people that have the heart of God and the feeling for humankind to come to their help. I think it's something that is really possible for each and every one of us, or anybody human, because we know that the things we do in this life is not just only for ourselves, but it's for God as well, because we believe that things we do, there will be reward for us from God in heaven. Thank you. So I have here as well in the next clip, 2 days ago we went for our mission out there to keep disseminating the wonderful message across to the world. It was a World Kidney Day. So we marked it. It's 9th of March of every year. So we are up there with the team in Tesco's, sharing flyers. And it was really a successful one because we shared more than 500 flyers there and above. And the people were so happy because it's really a goodwill message that we are sending across there. Because all our aim is for people by this time of the next year, in a century, in fact, people will have a very, very good treatment about kidney. It's not going to be a very big problem anymore. Like I remember in those days when HIV, malaria, and different conditions came out, it was like a tragedy and taboo. But today is something that there is through the medics and research, there is a treatment on it. So I want our people to reassure us today to come out in support of this movement, and we'll learn more from it. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Sister Ify. That was a very wonderful presentation. Until you hear, until you listen to them, you don't really know how course is. I'm very glad to be here today. I don't know about you. We are moving forward. If you look at the program, the tea and coffee break, like I said before, don't follow this program. A lot of things will be changing. John Boyan is a writer. He said something. He said, "You have not lived today until you have done something for someone who can never repay you." Can you hear that? Yeah. Until you have done something for someone who can never repay you. Whatever we do today, we're doing it to give back to this society. We're doing it to give back to this community. Someone had come forward to give to Sister Ify. It could be you, it could be me. You understand what I'm saying? So we have to have that set mind. And there was a time I went to the hospital and they were asking me if I wanted to donate any of my organs anytime when I die. Like a normal African boy. How can I? Even I'm dead, I'm still like, how can they cut something out? You don't even know. You're gone. So maybe my beautiful lady here will educate us better on why we don't need to keep all these things. But they're no more useful for us. So we are moving on. Quickly, I want to appreciate Sister Ify's family. They are seated here. Mom, sisters, please, can you just stand up? Can you just stand up? We appreciate you. Mommy, sisters, brothers, wherever you are, please, can you just stand up? We want to appreciate you. We want to thank you for the support you're giving to Sister Ify when she was going through this. Thank you very much, ma'am. This will not come now your step again in the mighty name of Jesus. Things of celebration and the wife. Let me give you the name. Susan, okay. I really stand up. Want to appreciate you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Consider Ifybella kidney transport car. I don't know if we are going to bring the car into this. But anyway, I will unveil the car. So I'm going to be calling on the deputy mayor to do the launching of the organization. You're welcome, sir.
Good. And first, I'm sure you'll be delighted to know that although it says in the programme 40 minutes for this allocation, I can promise you I don't have a speech for 40 minutes, but I don't have a speech at all. So this is very much off the cuff, as they say. But I was absolutely inspired as I came in to hear the words that were being spoken, and it is a joy and a delight to hear the progress that's being made and to see so many of you here this afternoon sharing in the great work that's being done. So well done to you all. Can I also say that when you become deputy mayor, and more especially mayor, which is the year that follows your deputy mayoralship, past mayors always say the thing you notice about Milton Keynes, or you discover about Milton Keynes, is how much great work is being done by so many different communities in this great city of ours. And that's certainly been Susan and mine's experience so far this year. We have met so many great people, celebrating so many great causes, launching so many great fundraising exercises, etc., and working together for a common cause, not only for the cause of which they're focused, but also because they're part of this great community of Milton Keynes. So give yourselves a clap, because you really deserve it. This is, ladies and gentlemen, this is Milton Keynes' 50th birthday, and we are celebrating all through 2017 this great year of ours. When Milton Keynes was first inaugurated, and in fact I've lived here all my life. I was born in a village called Walton, which is where the university is now, but it's a tiny little village. So I've seen Milton Keynes from day one to where we are today. And it is a great, great success. And we're actually a success because we're such a great multicultural community, all working together, all working for a common cause. And I've been absolutely delighted and thrilled to see how our city has grown, and that we are such a success because we are all people under the Milton Keynes banner, working together for Milton Keynes. And today is just one more example of how much success we're enjoying as a city. So well done to you on that. As we were hearing, in life, there's only one thing to expect, and that's the unexpected. So we must all be prepared for what tomorrow brings for us. It doesn't mean you can't live for today. We should all be living for today and getting the most out of all our lives. And I hope that Milton Keynes offers us the opportunity to do that. But we also need the support that the city and a community like Milton Keynes offers. So I think we're all very, very lucky to be here. So all it remains for me to do is congratulate you on the work you've done so far. Thank you for inviting Susan and myself here this afternoon. I wish you every good wish for the success of this campaign moving forward, and all the registrations that need to be done and all the work that needs to be done to actually get it off the ground. And hopefully look forward to seeing you again in the not too distant future as we can move this process forward. So thank you very much indeed, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you very much, sir. You passed the message in 10 minutes. That was wonderful. Please, let me appreciate him. Thank you very much. Thank you. But you have not finished the assignment, sir. I said I didn't know I was going to bring the car into this place. They said the car is just outside. I know some people will run away if you go out now. So we're not going out now. How long do you have, sir?
Oh, we're here till 5.
Oh, fantastic. So, fantastic. I'm in charge. If you say you are going to avail the cast, people just will go. So we are not availing the car now. I'm going to call on Charles better quickly. Let's appreciate this program was supposed to start at 1 o'clock. I met her outside.
Bethan so far. So my name isn't Charles, it's Bethan. I'm a specialist nurse at Milton Keynes Renal Unit. What my job is in the renal unit is to look after all of the patients who are approaching kidney failure in the Milton Keynes community, help them, guide them through the process and help them make the right choices for their future. If you asked me to come here today to talk about a couple of subjects. Now, I can't promise that the 20 minutes that I've been given will be over in 10, I'm afraid, because she gave me such a lot to tell you. What she asked me to tell you a little bit about is what she's faced in her life, to give you a little bit of understanding about what kidney dialysis is, and then to talk a tiny bit about kidney donation, how it happens, and why it doesn't happen in a lot of communities. So if you can just bear with me, this is going to be the boring science talk. So how common? Not very. 5% of the population have kidney disease. So that equates to between 40 and 60,000 people in the UK. It's not very many. People living with dialysis or a functioning kidney transplant. Does anybody know what affects your kidneys?
Tell us, please.
Sorry?
Tell us, please.
Okay. So if we were going to talk about the main causes of kidney disease in the communities, that this may be something that you may recognise, because if you imagine, if you go back to school, those charts you used to get, they were called pie charts, and they talked about the proportions of this and the proportions of that, and the majority of people who develop kidney failure, about over a third of that pie chart would be diabetes. Over a third of that pie chart would be hypertension. Does anybody know that in certain sections of the community, diabetes and hypertension are a major cause of problems, and put together, they are kidney killers? I've got on this slide some of the things that you can do to help your kidneys, and they are just general health lifestyle advice. So watching your diet, salt, sugar, cholesterol, watch your blood pressure. If you are diabetic, please listen to your doctor about your blood sugar control. I can't bear seeing people coming to me with kidney failure, with legs amputated, with eyes that are blind because their blood sugar has been too high. And please follow all of the instructions that you are given with your medications, especially those that you buy for yourself. So when you buy your ibuprofen or your Voltarol, the lovely lady leaping around on the television that's got the joy of movement because she rubs her Voltarol gel all over her knee and she can play tennis again, that stuff is being absorbed into your system. I'm not saying it's bad stuff. I'm not saying you shouldn't use it. Please follow the instructions on the packet and see your doctor if your symptoms persist. Okay. So I'm talking to you today because most people have a very limited knowledge about what kidney failure actually is. Kidney failure is when your kidneys stop removing toxemic and they have to absorb calcium from your bones. So they're a fairly major organ, and when they fail, the consequences to the individual are very difficult. If you know that a member of your family has got kidney disease, or you know that your kidneys are not working at 100%, please come to us so we can manage you. Lots of problems and even dialysis can be avoided or delayed with good management in the early stages. Okay, kidney dialysis then. This is what Ify really wanted me to talk to you about. Has anybody ever been confronted with anything like that before? Okay. So kidney dialysis comes into pictures of my own patients. So having suffered complete kidney failure, this gentleman would be travelling to his local dialysis centre 3 times a week, every week, for the rest of his life, and he would spend at least 4 hours on a kidney machine. Now, kidney dialysis doesn't hurt, but it does make you feel extremely washed out, it makes you tired, it makes you unable to go about your daily business, it makes you unable to be the mother that you want to be to your children or the worker that you want to be to support your family. When we do dialysis, we need to get the blood out of the body to clean it, and this is what the patients have to undergo in order for that to happen. Now, Ify, I hope you don't mind, didn't have that type of dialysis. We will talk a little bit about the other one as well. I'm not going to go on all afternoon, by the way. But most patients have hemodialysis, and so that involves the insertion of 2 whopping great needles into the blood vessels every time you come for your treatment. This will be something that Ify probably would have a bit more familiarity with. We call it the Cinderella service of kidney dialysis because nobody's ever heard of this. Most people have seen something on the news about kidney dialysis machine. Nobody's ever heard of peritoneal dialysis. So in this type of dialysis, we drain sterile dialysis fluid into the abdominal cavity and we leave it there. After a period of time, that used fluid is drained out of the body and the patient drains a fresh batch in. This type of dialysis takes place all day, every day, and Ify, do you mind me sharing your experience of being on that form of dialysis? I'm not going to give them too many. Ify used the sort of dialysis where a machine did this for her own.
Oh my God. Hello. Hi. Yeah, as Bethan has mentioned, it's quite a difficult one, though it's convenient for you to manage, but it's not easy. It's one of the rare ones that you can embark on, but it's just that I'm lucky. I always say that I'm lucky to be part and one of the ones opportune to embark on this type of treatment. It is difficult because you have to be sterile, very clean. You don't want anyone to come around you dirty or to contaminate you. And by the grace of God, that is what I went through for 3 years plus 5. Yes, but it is difficult, but because God is with me then, I always say, I went through it, but it's not easy, very hard. Because I can still remember those days when, after the treatment, when I want to go to school runs to take my little ones, thank you, my mom, she's awesome. And when I get down the stairs, I will roll up from the step and I'll find myself on the basement because I will just lose my balance because you feel really dizzy, you feel giddy. So the water goes in. Actually, I wouldn't say water, I will call it water, don't we? So it will go in and it will sit in there for 8 hours. So if you are having to do the day back, which is the mobile one, you'll be carrying it along. We can choose to do the 8-hourly to 9 hours one, which you will connect in the night or day, but 24 hours you must do it every day. So to sit down and lie down and rest or sleep. But the best for it is for the night, because the night one will allow you sleep over with it. But when I say to sleep over, some of us will think it's real proper sleep. It's not sleep, because you might have a troubleshoot. I remember so many nights, you all here will be fast asleep, enjoying your sleeps, but I will be on the phone ringing the emergency team to come to my rescue because my machine is alarming. So and I have to get it sorted so that I'll be able to go out tomorrow to continue my activity. So this is why I started this, because people on that kind of treatment, in fact, in general, they lost the strength. They are tired. They need our help. We need to help them, like what I mentioned, to help them with their normal day-to-day activity. We can help them even financially, because and even with their day, home, family appointments, anything you can do for somebody on that state is awesome. It's something the person will appreciate and will never live to forget. So it is a very good, careful. Anything that you pick the infection, the high risk of the death is the prognosis is really bad. Too bad. So Bethan, I'll give back to her and she'll continue.
This is thought to be due to the incidence of diabetes and hypertension in certain communities. On average, people on dialysis from Black and Asian communities wait at least 1 year longer. I think it's 371 days longer for kidney transplantation than the Caucasian population. The reason for that is kidney transplants have to be matched quite carefully in order for them to work, and you are far more likely to get a kidney donation that matches you from within your own ethnic group. Unfortunately, the deceased donation rate amongst minority communities is about half that of the Caucasian population. And I wondered if I could put the floor open to you now about that situation, because I wonder why it is that kidney donation is something that people seem to be very reluctant to engage in. Has anybody got anything that they want to share with us? So there are two ways of donating kidneys. So you said that you were approached about becoming a kidney donor. Was that to sign a donor card in the event of your death?
Yes, I was scared.
Were you happy to do that?
No,
Did you do that?
I think I would, but then I was scared. Yeah.
What did you think would happen if you signed the card? No, I'm being absolutely serious, because let me just give you some examples of the things that I hear. Lots of people feel that if they register themselves as an organ donor, that maybe the doctors won't try so hard to save their lives. Maybe they will give up more easily because you look like a young, healthy gentleman, probably with young, healthy, very useful organs, and maybe if you're in a coma in intensive care, a doctor might think your organs may be useful for a number of people who are on the transplant waiting list. We're all laughing, but this is something that lots and lots and lots of people do believe. Okay. So I'd just like to talk a little bit about, if you have somebody, thank you very much, just put a little picture of what the tubing looks like in dialysis. There we are. I'm trying not to close the computer. The process that we go through at the moment is a process of testing to make sure that that donor is in fact brainstem dead before the donation takes place. And we have now gone a little bit further than that, because lots of people are uncomfortable with the idea of their loved one being taken away whilst their heart is still beating to have their organs harvested. So we've gone even further than that now, and now a lot of the time the doctors withdraw life support from the patient and allow nature to take its course, so you can be absolutely certain that person is naturally deceased before the before the organs are taken. Has everybody heard about living donation? Yeah. Did anybody have any questions they wanted to ask about living donation before I finish them?
What is it?
Okay, so living donation is a process by which people can donate an organ to another person whilst they are still alive. We all have a massive excess of kidney function. Nobody really knows why we've got too much kidney function, but we have. We need less than 50% of our kidney function. In fact, we need less than 20% of our kidney function to remain healthy. So it's perfectly possible to remove one organ from a healthy person and donate it to somebody who's in need of a transplant. It's usually people donating to people that they know. It's usually mums donating to kids, or kids donating to my mums or brothers. Sometimes it's between husbands and wives. It is perfectly possible to find a match amongst your friendship group. There are some people who donate, and the posh word for it is altruistically, as in put themselves forward as a kidney donor for a complete stranger. I have to say that's an extremely brave decision, and I'm not sure it'd be one that I would be able to make for myself. If you did put yourself forward as a kidney donor, statistically, kidney donors survive for longer than people who don't donate kidneys, because their health is followed up so carefully in the period after their donation. Does anybody have any questions they would like to ask me from a medical point of view before I say thank you to Ify for inviting me?
What do you contribute organ, kidney, can keep you stay healthy? The question would have been, why then two? If you just 20% you need to function in one. So which says to me that you probably have the second to help, whoever there is in need, in terms of giving out. But now, the question is, what do you say? What would be your approach in handling the fears of people that wouldn't want to do it? Even now we have the awareness that just 20% functionality of that organ can keep you healthy. How do you advise us?
I think your question is, if we can manage on such a low level and keep people's kidney function by careful management above 20%, that person will go on to live a normal, healthy life. When somebody puts themselves forward as a living donor for transplantation, you, for example, would go for a long series of medical and psychological tests to make sure that you were healthy from both points of view, that you were donating because you wanted to do it, not because somebody was persuading you, bullying you, or paying you to do it. And you would need to go through a very lengthy period of medical testing to make sure you have 100% kidney function, that both kidneys do an equal amount of work, and that we can safely take one kidney away, leaving you with at least 50% of your remaining function. It isn't something that everybody feels comfortable with. It isn't something that every person waiting for a kidney donation feels comfortable with. My personal experience of kidney donation is that my sister has had a renal transplant for the past 4 years. She was not comfortable with me offering myself as a donor for her because she was afraid that something would happen to me. She was afraid that her body would not accept the organ and I would go through that for nothing. Okay. So there are lots of things for people to think about, and I would invite anybody that has questions about it. I think my email address is on the guest list. Anybody who wants to can contact me directly if they have personal questions to ask.
Okay. Thank you so very much.
Thank you.
We appreciate it. I just want to ask, though it's similar to the last question, but one is a bit different. some people are very, they find it very difficult opting for organ donation because one, they believe if they put down, if they sign that NHS card to say, I'm donating my kidney or my eyes or anything, they become a threat. That's at some point, from nowhere, they might target them and kill them in order to get their organ, So is there any way we can disabuse the mind of people? Because that's the conception people have, that once they sign in, they become a target. So from nowhere, if like where we are coming from, there's disparity between the rich and the poor. So, and if a rich man needs a heart and a poor man that has nothing but he has a functional heart, if anything happens to the rich man and he needs a new heart, they will just target the poor man, kill him and get his heart, to donate to the rich man. So I think that has formed a bias on the minds of people as to signing up for organ donation. So is there any way or any advice you can give to us today to allay our fears as well, that if we now opt that we want our organs to be donated when we are not there or while we are living, that we won't become a target?
Quite shocking happening in other countries. I am aware that it happens in some Asian countries, and I wasn't aware that that was something that happened in Africa. I can only say to you that doesn't happen here in the UK, okay? You might be reassured to know that if you were to register yourself or a member of your family as a kidney donor, once you are identified as somebody who is likely to die and therefore become a kidney donor, that card actually counts for nothing. It counts for alerting the doctors to the fact that you wanted to become a donor, but the person who's going to make the decision as to whether they allow you to become a donor is going to be your family. So signing the card means that the doctors know what your wishes were, but the decision would be made with your families and your loved ones or your husband or whoever your next of kin is, and their permission would be sought. So there is no benefit to the health service to procuring organs in the way that you describe. Does that answer your question?
Yes, it did. Thank you. I wanted to, because I have a friend actually who donated his kidney to his dad, and since then he hasn't really been very well. Because a lot of people are told to donate, but then the what comes with it, the consequences that comes with the giver is always not emphasized. So it's just always presented as if, oh, you'll be well, because they have to make extra effort to keep healthy. So, can you address that?
Without knowing the individual circumstances, I'm not sure that I can. When you say that the individual hasn't been well since, I don't know what his medical conditions are or what the other medical conditions he might have. All I can say is that as a living kidney donor, there's an extensive testing process to make sure the individual is healthy, and then there is a very extensive follow-up medical program to
in this organization, and also I've been affected one way or the other with this kind of thing. And when you talk about, because I listened to you when you said that we only need 20% of our kidney, so we need 2 out of it, and that's what I mean. I remember when I was young, my eyes used to be very good, even though I have so many glasses to actually correct my eyes, but nothing has been as perfect as what I had before. So basically, it just shows how much God loves us. But where I want to touch in this area is, I mean, I'm very sure even with all the people around there, the issue about actually donating and also thinking that how will I feel in terms of before I used to play football, I used to run around, I used to do this, I used to do that. Would that be at one point if I said that I want to donate? Are you saying that I'm going to cut back? Because when you say that we only 20%, it's just 20% for me to climb the staircase and come back, or is it just for me to continue what I'm doing and be able to run, be able to carry the children up and down and do all those things, or I will have to cut back on so many things? And if that is it, we have to understand that as a giving that we have to, part of our giving that you have to cut back this, you have to cut back, because a lot of people sometimes feel that, okay, they told me that once I donate, I can still do what I want to do. I can still eat the way I eat. I can still drink the way I drink. So maybe there's some things that we need to learn, because I feel it is important, even within our community, in these our minority communities, or we have to start understanding about giving not just money or time, but also, yes, some part of our organs too. So, but can you alleviate that fear that says that if I give, yes, you cannot be as completely normal, but you have to now check on yourself what you do and what you don't do, which I think might be the. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, somebody that is identified as perfectly healthy before the donation process should lose no more than 50% of their kidney function in the donation process. After kidney donation, if you're fit and healthy before, if you're playing football, if you're running up and down stairs, if you're carrying your children around, you should be able to carry on doing every single thing that you did before.
Okay.
Going by what that my sister asked, she asked, regarding how safe people who have donated their organs. So I know that there should be a repository, a database somewhere where the list of people who have donated their organs are kept. How secure are these repositories? How secure are they that people can access them to find out who and who has donated? Because what she said is something that I've also heard. Some people who have donated their organs are being targeted. Some are even, accidents are staged, for them to die so that their kidneys will be taken or any organ. So how safe are the repositories, the databases? Can a doctor's secretary be able to access these things? Because we all have friends in the medical field. So let's just say, somebody desperately needed one and had someone on the inside who worked in a hospital or anywhere where this information can be gotten. How safe are the names or the identities of donors? Yeah, donor list. Thank you.
The register of kidney donors is only available to the Blood and Transplant Association staff. They're not available to the general public, and they would not be available under any of the things that you may have heard of that you can acquire other information from, such as the Freedom of Information Act. All you would be able to get from something like the Freedom of Information Act is information like this many people have donated and these were the outcomes. You would never be able to get an individual's name and address from that. They are only available to blood and transplant staff. I haven't got that information or access to it. It's very secure.
So basically secure.
And they need a certain security level to be able to access it, right?
Okay. I'd like to say thank you very much for having me today. Thank you to Ify for inviting me. And as I say, if anybody does have personal questions to ask, my email address is on the guest list. Thank you.
We appreciate your patience, and those questions were questions I expected from my people, because we care for our life a lot. But you know one thing, Bethan was, honestly, she was absolutely right. This is not the first time I'll be listening to that. And there's no point holding on to what we don't need. Who can tell me why God gave us two hands? Why do you think God gave us two hands? Why do you think? Please, this is not the time for selfie. We are doing something important here, please. Why do you think God gave us? Yes, ma'am.
Eyes, two holes in our noses, because if one is not working, you can still live on the other one. So I think it's a backup.
Okay, backup for you.
Yes.
That's our raffle draw today. It's still about you. Am I making any sense? And you can't give yourself. You have to give other people. So the reason why there are two kidneys there is for you to use 20% of one to survive and to give the other one out to whoever needs it. So why are we holding on to it? Think about it. So we have this. We have this. If God has laid it on your heart, you feel confident enough, no one is coercing you to do it. I'm changing my mind from today. Please feel this. You don't need more than enough. Is someone listening to me there? Yeah. I know they've switched off now. You don't need more than what? More than enough. God will bless you as you do so in Jesus' name. So quickly we are moving on. I enjoy coming here today, honestly speaking. Very educative. We are moving on. You know, we cannot talk about this foundation or this charity. One house, please. One house, please. We cannot talk about this charity without the support of you and I. And we are talking about support. Psychological support, financial support. Very, very important. The car outside there was bought with what? Money. Not credit card, though. It's money. And even with credit card, you have to pay back. So please, you are here today. I know we are seated there, we have been touched today. We have been touched by Sister Ify's story. We have been touched by Bethan's presentation. We have been touched by what the Deputy Mayor said. We have been touched by what Pastor Ayo said. You want to make a difference in somebody's life. You wanted to make a donation. You wanted to make pledges. Without this charity cannot survive. And I bet you, I'm promising you, whatever you give today is not going to be spent at McDonald's. It's not going to be spent at. Yeah? I know the joint. It's part of a mission work. So please, my people are doing selfie now. They are doing selfie. Get your papers out if you don't have your checkbook here. Let us donate to this cause. I'm going to give the mic to the Deputy Mayor because he has the power. He can even say, if you don't donate, get out of Milton Keynes. Yeah, I love Milton Keynes. I've been here for 10 years now. And I do tell my friends in London that, look, you are missing. Until you come to Milton Keynes, you don't know what you are missing. I love Milton Keynes. I don't think I will ever leave no other place in the world apart from Milton Keynes. I'm making that promise now. So please, we want your donation. We want your support. And I'll be giving the mic to the Deputy Mayor to do this for us. After which we're going to do the raffle draw. Sir.
Charity. I mean, there's been an awful lot of awareness raising here this afternoon. I've learned a good deal listening to Bethan and what she was saying. I think we're all that much better informed. Milton Keynes is very much based around charitable giving in our communities, so I can't think of anything more deserving and more worthy than giving this afternoon. It's entirely up to you. You know, you're masters of your own checkbook, but I would say to you, I can't think of anything better to do, and let's give that some thought. Thank you very much indeed. And I would need to hand this back to the gentleman who's just disappeared. So,
Just try that again. I believe you will comply. I can see someone there complying already. Are we complying with that? Thank you very much. We have we're going to unveil the car very soon. We have some tickets here. You know, everything we generate today goes towards this charity. Everything. Even the photographer is not taking money. I'm serious. Every photograph you take today, every amount you pay to this photographer goes to what? To this charity. That's the truth. So please take photographs as much as possible. I'm saying something serious, they're laughing. Take photograph. I mean, I will take. Because that's just the way. Because the photograph belongs to you anyway. It's the photographer that's giving his own money to the charity. So take photograph. Don't do selfie. Take off your mobile phone. Take proper photograph. God bless you as you do so in Jesus' name. Amen. So we have this raffle ticket. It costs only 50p. 50p. And you are going to win some prizes if you buy. That's apart from that. See, I have my own there. Number one, 50p. And what you have there? Don't let me lie now. Don't let me say what they have told me. I don't have to lie. Proper Nigerian man. It was. See now, they are modifying it. They said it was. So it's now. They said it's now £1. It's not me. They said it's now £1. So £1 ticket, I will distribute it. Who will help me? Who can help me? If you don't have a ticket, you have to. Oh yeah, please. Thank you. You are doing that. Thank you very much. Oh, be like saying Igbo boy. As we are doing, I'm not always shy for food. If you like, be shy. So please go there, sort yourself out, and God bless you as you do so. So please, let's get to the kitchen. We have. Going, gone. I beg, where's my tray? It's pay as you go. After your food.
Where's your account number?
Wait till be that.
Make a transfer.
South. God bless you as It's not the more serious note. It's not the gift. What you have there is enough, but we appreciate your giving. We appreciate your faith. Because when I was on 75, I was praying that somebody should go more than 75. I thought I have this congregation. You respond. You know when you respond. Praise the Lord. Hallelujah. Oh man. Now, quickly, we have the raffle here. I'm going to give this raffle to you. You have to the prizes here quickly. The deputy mayor will pick 3 numbers. And the first number is the third prize. The second number, second prize. And the last number is the first prize. Number 43. Number 43. I don't know my number. You? Yeah. I don't know my number. I bet where you How many you buy? You buy 43. Yeah. Sir, that's my phone number, sir. That's my price. 43, sir. Let the mayor give it to you. Our photographer.
There we are. We can take it. 1 second. I will be with you in just 1 second.
Stay where you are. Second number. Thank you, sir.
I'm collecting on behalf of someone.
6. Thank you very much. And one more. Thank you very much. And the last one, sir. What's my number?
This one is number 18. 1-8.
1-8.
The first one was for somebody else.
But it is not now.
What for my own?
Well, here we are again.
That's all. And one last one for the measure. Thank you very much. And mommy to Sister Ife, can you come around, man? You are wanted here. Mommy, please come around. Thank you, ma'am. And who else do you want?
Yeah.
My aspiring pastor there, please come around so that when I come to your church, you give me good honorarium.
See, Mama.
See my face. I know your family now. Finally, invite me.
The mic is taking it. Okay.
Here we go.
Are you mommy? Yeah.
Okay,
thank you. Wait, let's take two of us.
Yes. There we go. Wonderful. And one more for the measure. Right, okay, we are quite wide. So, and please, if God has given the prayer heart to have a photograph with Mr. Ife, please can come around. Yes, for the and one more for good measure. Fantastic.
Thank you.
Thank you. Can you come around, please? Let's come around. Let's have a photograph with her. The deputy mayor leaves at 5 o'clock. We have 2 minutes to do this. Please come around. Let's do this quickly. Yeah. I've just been told that there is dessert there. That is dessert. The Sister Ife's family, just the family members alone.
Right, let's have you nice inside. I see a lot of too much stuff in there. There we go. Have you inside. Right here, guys. Is that the team? This is the team.
So please, let's do this quickly. 2 minutes, going.
Right here, guys, right here. Stay where you are.
But they can't just let us be happy.
One more to the pleasure. Here we go. Thank you very much indeed.
We can continue with the photography session after the unveiling of the car, please.
That's it. Here we go.
We can continue with this after unveiling the car, please. We can continue with this after unveiling the car. Okay. After unveiling the car.
Praise the Lord.
Hallelujah.
Praise the Lord.
Hallelujah.
Yes, we are even also to reassure her and assure her that we are solidly behind her. Am I right, ladies?
Yes, you are.
So we're going to make our little presentation. It's just the tip of the iceberg. Okay? So we are there with you and for you. So anything, just call on us. We are proud of you. Praise the Lord.
The test shot. The test shot. All right, we're good. All right, everybody, right here. All right, right here, madam. And the last one, everybody here, right here, God. So on the side, looking away. Right into this look. Thank you.
Ifybella Kidney.
Yeah, okay. All right, let's see this. Lungs, 1, 2, 3. Okay, just one more. Okay, and one for good measure.
Praise the Lord. Hallelujah. We are members of Sisters Fellowship International. VP Fee is our vice president. We are here to tell her that we love her. And we are also here to jubilate with her for the inauguration. Our beloved VP, we love you so much. We know that you are always with us and God is always with you.
Can you all look into the camera, please? Right to the lens here. Brilliant. Blessings. I can't. You're looking away. Can I just have you right to the camera? That's fantastic. Like that one. And just one for good measure. Fantastic. Okay, that's good. Fantastic. Okay, let me just drop that down. Just one more, sir. Okay. Brilliant. Okay. Harry.
Yeah.
My personal congratulations to you for achieving that and for taking this forward. So very, very welcome and saying such lovely things about
we'll be
well done to you all.
watching your progress too.
Now the great thing about ribbon cutting when you're a mayor is you do a good deal of ribbon cutting. And you always need a countdown, so we'll start with 5. All right?
Yeah.
5,
4, 3, 2, 1.
Yeah,
sorry. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Well done for all your hard work. We'll see you again soon. Thank
Yeah.